Welcome to the Hey Guy podcast. And today I am going to be talking about my pet peeves that absolutely drive me insane. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hey Guy podcast. I am your host, Striker. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching the other videos that I have put out here on the Hey Guy group. I appreciate that so much. And Happy New Year. If I didn't get to tell you, Happy New Year. We're uh, going right through January right now. We're rolling right on through. But today, I want to talk about my top five pet peeves that absolutely drive me insane. And I know that some of these may be on your list, some of them may not be. Um, but these are the ones that drive me crazy. Absolutely crazy. But anyway, before I get started, I want you to hit that like button on YouTube, subscribe, share it. It helps me so much with the algorithms. I'd appreciate that so much. I can't express how much that means to me. So anyway, um, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from five and work my way down to number one. And what will be my number one, a pet peeve that drives me insane. So number five, pet peeve is when somebody else is talking, when I'm talking or someone else, and somebody else interrupts me or interrupts you, or when they talk over you or over me. That absolutely drives me insane. I listened to another podcast on my way to work, and during that podcast, there's three people, sometimes four, that's on this podcast, and the host, I'm not going to mention the name, but he is always yelling and screaming over everyone when they are talking certain times. Absolutely drives me batty. Oh man, I can't, that, and that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst. This is only number five, folks. But tell me if this pet peeve also would make your list when somebody interrupts you or talks over you. Number four, number four, and this uh, this was hard. I feel that this should have been further down the list, or down the list, closer to number one maybe. But when somebody is late and not on time, oh my Lanta! If somebody says 1 o'clock, it it's 1 o'clock. It doesn't mean 1:30. It doesn't mean two. Um, and this is I'm not I'm not blasting anybody for this, but somebody that I'm very close to knows that this drives me absolutely insane. Insane. I I like to schedule everything in my life. Everything is scheduled. I can't live second to second. I have to know what I'm doing days ahead, yada yada yada. Maybe I'm crazy. That's a good possibility, but um yeah, I when you're late, not on time, oh my goodness. Oh, and then I I understand stuff happens, but oh, come on. Just just make it on time. If you say 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Come on, man. All right. Number three. This was a close one B for me, and I am guilty of this too. Um, and I know it drives me nuts. But it is grammar on Facebook or social media that I see. I know sometimes I don't always spell right, but when I have to actually think about what you're trying to say because you forgot words or you're misspelling words, it it's rough, man. It's rough. It really is. Um, and I actually unfriended people or stopped following people because of this reason. It drives me insane, absolutely insane. But again, I am guilty of it too. I don't always. Uh, I try to spell correctly, but autocorrect sometimes changes stuff. That's always my excuse. That's always my excuse. Um, number two, number two is when somebody says the Berg. When they mean Pittsburgh and they say, "Oh, I'm going to the Berg." No, man. Come on, guy. You're going to Pittsburgh. You're not going to the Berg. Like, are you that lazy that you can't say Pittsburgh? You gotta say the Berg. Oh, drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Oh, and and this is said by a lot of people. I'm going to say out of the people I know, this is said more commonly than Pittsburgh. In 80% of my friends, family, uh, 80% of people. I'm trying to think. That's a little high, but I think I might be correct on that. Um, But, just say Pittsburgh. It takes what, extra second to say Pitt instead of the Berg? Just say Pittsburgh. Um, yeah, you know, pet peeves absolutely drive me insane. Insane. As you can see, what really drives Larry insane? This is what drives me insane. Drives me batty. Um, and before we get to number one, the my number one pet peeve. Um, Please like and share the Hey Guy podcast videos. It helps so much with the algorithms and for me to be seen. Um, I need your help. I need subscribers. Please, it only takes a second. You don't have to watch the whole video. Just like it, share it, ask a question. If you have a question, go ahead and ask it. I'll do my best to answer it. Um, all right. Before and my number one pet peeve, and anybody that knows me that is very close to me knows what this is, and it is sunglasses. Sunglasses when you wear them inside, when you wear them when it's snowing, when you wear them when it's dark out. You're not a rock star. You're not famous. Take the sunglasses off indoors or when it's raining. And for God's sakes, do not wear the sunglasses on top of your head. Oh my God, that drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. That's my number one pet peeve. Drives me. And I know a lot of people that do this, and a lot of people do it just to piss me off. I do believe. I do believe because they know that it pisses me off. Um, yes. Now, I understand. Okay, people are going to say, well, it's because of the, my eyes that I get headaches. Okay, but uh, all right, whatever. Come on, man. Come on, guy. Hey, guy. Come on, take them sunglasses off. You're not famous. You're not performing at a concert, and that drives me crazy too. When an artist is doing a concert and they're wearing sunglasses, why? Take the sunglasses off, man. Gee whiz. um, I'm gonna give an honorable mention also. Uh, this almost made the list, but it didn't. So it's gonna get the honorable mention. When somebody says, "Well, why not?" and let me explain this to you. Um, I rent cars uh, for a living, and a customer says, "Well, why can't I rent a car?" After I explain to them why they cannot rent a car, whether you don't have enough money on your credit card, or excuse me, or if you don't have proof of insurance, um, or if if it kicks it back, says you cannot rent, well, why not? I just explained this to you. I just explained this to you, and it happens so much. It happens so much. Um, Renting cars. Um, if I tell you a reason why, I'm not lying to you. I want to take your money just as well as anyone else does. But there's policies. That's why. And I like my job. I want to keep it. So I got to follow rules too, just like everyone else does. So that made the honorable mention. Um, you know, pet peeves. Everybody has their own pet peeves, and I'm sure I do many things that drive people batty also. Um, but it's just pet peeves, and it's what I don't want to say affects us, but it's part of life, and we just got to deal with it. As much as I don't want to, I got to deal with it. Just like all of you got to deal with listening to me talk here for a few minutes talking about my pet peeves, right? Anyway, thank you again, guys, for watching the Hey Guy podcast. Pet peeves, what really drives me insane? I just told you number 5, interrupting, talking over people. Number 4, being late. Number 3, grammar. If you can't spell, maybe you shouldn't be on Facebook or social media. Number 2, don't be lazy. Say Pittsburgh instead of the Berg. And my number one pet peeve is don't wear sunglasses inside. Don't wear them on top of your head. They're supposed to be worn right here on your nose, like I'm wearing my glasses. That's where they're supposed to be. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I am Striker with the Hey Guy podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for the next video of the Hey Guy podcast.